Keep it up.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the SLR Championship here with Prime Championship, the Tier 1 Championship for Baku. We have only 13 racers today, but I am betting it's gonna be an exciting race as always. And we have crashes already. Anyways, there is a grim weather conditions as I can see. I don't know if we're gonna have rain in the main race, the main event. I'm still fixing something, so please forgive me. Okay, I think I've made all the adjustments. And I think that is first. Yeah, I think the first one is Tunari that's going to do his hot lap. Top close on the barriers. Ocean, do we have a problem with the stream? Do we have frame drops or something? At the end of sector 2. In this case, first case we have the purple sector. There is a neighborhood. $140.8, and behind him, I think it's Fox. $141.8, and we have Austin 142. Meepo in the first place 140.5. Let's see about McKender. 144. I don't know. Maybe it's not the best track for McKender. Let's see, we have a lot of time in the quality. Let's see about copy DNF. Maybe I just him because when I was saying the check copy, he crashed and he going for jail. Daisy. But this is his outlap. Maybe there's gonna be a rain in the race, but I'm not sure. We did have rain at the last 3 laps yesterday in the tire 2, and everything changed. But the first place was so far away from the others that he didn't break a sweat. He stayed out with the hearts. 14-year-old Azerbaijan with 140.2. Kiko's not gonna try. Let's see about that, Daisy. Going to the last corner of Sector 2. Very risky place. They put the cone. It's a very dangerous curve because you don't go smoothly and hit the wall. $140.4 this third place. Now John is on his out lap. That's retirement dinner. I don't know. Did the Dutch had the penalty or something? Hit some traffic. I think he will be okay. Now to the big straight. Prix started his hot lap. P10 from Joel. This is start. Caution. Sector 3. Who's your flare? No. Daniel. We have Fox out at the sector. Oh my God! At the castle sector. Maybe it's getting a little slippery. in the track. Curves going wide. Passing on the sector. Many DNFs, guys. That has invalidated. I don't know if it's gonna hit or something. For the bit. Okay. Dan in the first place, round 39.9. Almost three tenths of a second behind, in front of Makender. Let's see how Flair's doing. He has invalidated. I don't know if Kiko's gonna respond. He has a purple first sector. Caution. Well. Didn't get any info. Kiko is improving on 0.15. But he's putting in. Makender the same. Danny the same. And DNF'd. Danny DNF'd. Let's go with Makender that's starting his hot lap. Because with your streaming, I can't see the chat on YouTube if anything is writing something. Just so you know. I'm sure not today, so it's gonna be a little hard to watch both channels. Icewind came into the lobby. I don't know if he's gonna try to make a hot lap. Again, they're improving by 0.3 to the sector 2. Let's see. Can he overtake Danny? He needs almost 0.4. No. Close but not close enough. So Who else is left? Icewind started. Everybody's on round lap. Let's see who is first. Nico on round lap. Now I'm going with Flair. That is not very stable. So close to the barrier over here in the castle sector. You're retired. If Giga's gonna take the ball. He's improving, but not good enough. And we have Justin coming up to the finish line. Before 140.4. And we have Larry. Yep. Purple second sector. Oh! He pushed a little bit harder. Well, should.
Hey, Babu.
Good evening.
I have come to help you out, my man.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
So, sorry about that. I was AFK, Babs. But yeah, I made it just in time for the end of quali. And yeah, that was interesting. It looks like it been an interesting quali, Babs. Was it a wet quali at the start?
Today it's dry qualifying, but a lot of speeds, a lot of incidents on the castle sector. You know how it goes.
Oh yes, it's a lot of the guys. A lot of people find Baku this season, Babs, a little bit difficult, and as some of us were saying in the chat, it's a bit loud, sorry. Some of us were saying in the chat that in the Discord chat, we didn't really find Baku really that different, other than the braking seems to be quite significantly different this season.
This season, the Baku is more slippery than the last game.
Yes, that's the main thing. And it even affects, used to be in previous games, the ABS was quite helpful for people in Baku, but no, not this season, it's or not this year's game. Even with ABS, people struggle. But alas, I've made it just in time, Babs. So we're counting down 10 seconds to go. Dan the man sticks it on pole. I think is that his first pole this season, I think. I don't remember, actually. Yeah, so I'm just trying to get up to speed here, Babs, because I was in the bath, so I didn't see the messages. I was relaxing in the bath whilst I was watching myself within the the soapy suds. That's about as far as I'll say because we are streaming.
Oh, we have a sunny race so far.
Oh.
Did you see the race yesterday that in the last 4 laps people had to go in for the inters?
Yeah, I was in the race yesterday, Babs, and I was going to come in lap 24, and I thought, no, I'll risk it. Meeps then went into lap 24, and by the end of lap 24, I realised, yeah, Meepo made the right move and pitted early, because by the end of lap 24, the track was just really difficult to drive. So fair play to the guys yesterday that finished the race on hards. I think B-Bix or someone, Basco finished on the hards in a wet track, so fair play to him. It is doable. But let's see what happens today, Babs. So,
Okay.
lights are on. Off control. Danman leads the way of the field, but Max seems to have got a really good launch, but he holds on. Everyone giving each other just enough room. You will see Tier 1 is usually quite cleaner than the rest of the leagues. A lot of experienced driver. But we have an Aston Martin of Fox. Was that Foxy? Oh, sorry, he doesn't like being called out, forgive me. That is that Fox. He made a lovely move there, and I don't know if he got the move, if he actually got it, but anyway. Yeah, Fleur and Fox still battling here. Fox running deep. Oh, Fleur clipped the wall a little bit. Fleur and Fox still, still side by side here. Each driver giving each other just enough room. And what's this? Icewind's having a little sniff on Joel. Joel is, I believe, is struggling with the no assists in is that Joel actually? Was that two? Sorry, that was two, I think. I'm lost, Babs. I'm lost. Hang on, I'll get the settings onto my screen.
We have two set of strategies. Yesterday was soft, medium. Today is hard, medium. I don't know why. And we have with the one stop, hard and medium. What would you choose?
Well, Babs, so I've done 2 races so far. Tier 3, of course, and then Tier 2. And each time well, Tier 2 doesn't count because it was wet, but I
Fox had an incident, he spun.
Yeah, good shout, man. You seen that? Fox, yeah, is indeed last. We got another yellow flag. It's still probably for Fox. But yeah, I would always go for a hard medium on this track. Or hard medium. I'm just going to adjust my audio, Babs, because I think people might hear the game. There we go. That should be a bit better for people. So Bastien is having a little bit of an attack on Icewind. That didn't work out, and he loses out quite a good bit here to Icewind, and Icewind is extending that gap now quickly. But yeah, just looking at the deltas, Babs, everyone is kind of holding position really. Probably waiting for the DRS. DRS is very, very powerful.
Especially in the last straight, yes.
Oh yes.
I don't like that they put speed limiter on the cars.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that. For example, in Baku, almost at the last straight, before the turn 1, I could hit 360, and today you can't hit 340. I don't know why they did that.
Tug in P12 at the moment on these softs. Interesting decision to start on the softs. Who was that? Copy getting a real tank slapper on the brakes there. Cops being one of the most experienced drivers on the field for SLR anyway, and showing that even he is prone, or not prone, but even he is falling victim to the tricky braking zones of Baku. Loses out to Tug. Probably won't fight that too much, although he does have a bit of an overspeed here on Tug. As Justin sets the fastest lap. I don't think we're going to get any position changes just yet, Babs, so that'll let me say this. The thing about Baku, I find, is, as Copy is indeed going for a move on Tug. Tug has spun. Tug must have, he must have locked up on the brakes there. People are usually... Oh, who's that? Copy also struggling. So look at this. Copy, both Aston Martin guys are really struggling here on this the brakes. Thing is, usually whenever the tires are fresh after the pits, you get 55 brake bias is fine, but a little bit of a tip if anyone's listening, and I'm sure they already know this because they are tier 1. But when you hit around about 20% tire wear, you want to move your brake bias to 56, maybe even 57 if you're struggling, to really protect that rear end from snapping on you. But what I was going to say, Babs, was the thing about this track is there's a bit of clowning about when it comes to the 2 DRS zones, because if someone's going to run on you on the main straight with the DRS, you're far better not fighting it, not deploying really too much, letting them go, and then you can just get them back again on the second DRS. So what you'll probably see near the end of the race, if we're into real points positions, is people will start playing the DRS game. But we're looking here, this front field, someone's message out here, Desley seems to be the closest to Justin, but yeah, I think everyone's holding forward. Kiko's squeezing up too as well.
You have a DRS then behind Danny, and
yes.
Danny hasn't spent any ERS yet. He's at 85%. He has the pace, I think, for this track.
I'm just being told, Babs, that my wife Kitsune is making some pasta. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Anyway, we're starting to see now lap 4. We're starting to see the guys now starting to push up. These gaps are starting to close. You're going to see people using their battery. That's one thing I noticed. One thing I noticed, Babs, in tier 3 was that I don't know whether it was maybe a bit of over eagerness of a lot of the guys, or maybe I know some of them were maybe not as experienced as others. But what I did notice in tier 3 was that a lot of guys were really, really deploying a lot of battery quite early on, which is not a wise move generally in any track, especially Baku, because it's quite tricky, I find, to recover it. And you're seeing here, Dan nearly full, Max nearly full. Look at this, Kiko's nearly full. Justin is deploying a lot. That's quite telling. So that tells you a lot. That tells you that Justin is, well, I would believe, struggling to keep the pace.
He's at 30%.
Yeah, Meepo on the hards. Yeah, Meepo, but that would make sense because he's on the hards. He's trying to stick within this DRS.
And Icewind is at 33 right now.
Yeah, but you can see how the front 3 Babs, their batteries are quite full. Kiko now really starting to deploy now to squeeze up. Justin must be really, well, he's doing a good job here, but I think he knows that the guys in front of him definitely have the raw pace on him, and he's having to deploy to stay within the DRS. Go ahead, Babs.
The funny thing is that I saw McKenna not activating his DRS in the last straight. When I was watching McKenna, it was the DRS was closed before the turn 1.
Okay.
I don't know if he wants to stay behind Danny and force him to use his ERS or something. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the strategy there.
Well, the thing is, Babs, being first in Baku, whenever you've got so many fast boys so close behind you, everyone on the DRS, you don't really want to be the first guy, because you're just going to get, well, you're just going to get the disadvantage of everyone else having the DRS on you, which is why it's an interesting, there's a bit of a mind game battle going on here, because you see Dan the man knows that being P1, he doesn't have the advantage of having the DRS, so he would have to deploy, but he's not deploying. Because you see, Mac can just sit here, not really deploy at all, and use the DRS. So Mac is kind of hoping that Dan is deploying, so that whenever the time comes, he can then pass with a full battery.
Nobody's deploying. Nobody from the top 3 is deploying.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. They've all kind of checkmated each other. They're all waiting. You know, this is just the experience of tier 1. You see, and without bragging, this is what, you know, guys like me and Chief and other guys who've been in tier 1 for a long time, we learned this as well. that use the DRS and your ERS wisely. Don't deploy. But you can see Max now. Look at this. Mac is pushing, but look, he's not deploying, and he's not making the move. He's actually.
And then he overtook Justin.
Okay. These guys. I need to turn the stream down. Sorry, because I'm going to check on the chat. Oh, we've only got 2 comments in the chat so far. It's Mr. Chief himself, the Godfather. Who's going to DNF first? That is the big question.
I can't see the chat in YouTube, man.
You can't see the chat?
In YouTube, no. I'm watching on Twitch if anybody talks.
Yeah, it's alright. There's just 2 comments. It's just Chief's asking, who's going to DNF first? Hopefully you can't hear my little dog barking in the background. He's a bit mental. He barks at anything. He'll even bark at a door. So, Chief thinks Joel will be the first to DNF. Well, look, Cops and Fox have been really struggling earlier on. It could be Fox. Who knows? He is struggling in the Aston. Let me see. Meepo, of course, it always falls victim to the odd DNF, but of course he's got that. It's a hard one to call, really. A lot of these guys are pretty much this whole grid are very experienced. Could be Joel.
The one disadvantage I think is Stats because he's on the source and he's not closing the gap from Bastin as far as he wanted, I think.
Alright, so we are seeing the chat now.
Flair is overtaking.
Babs, just to let you know, people in the chat are saying that the game volume is a bit too loud, as Mac is now making the move, deploying his battery. Look at that. And Mac, now you're seeing what's happening. Dan knew this would happen. Dan wasn't playing ball. He wasn't going to deploy. Now Dan is the man with a full battery.
Okay, since the game is too loud, let me fix the sound a little bit.
Yeah, you see. So, yeah, and Larson's also thinks that it's going to be Joel for the DNF. So, unfortunately, Joel is the guy everyone's expecting, the DNF. I'm actually going to close my door because despite how much I adore my little dog, I'm sure the folks don't particularly want to hear him bark.
I hope this is better now.
All right. So let us know, folks. We've got, look at this. We have an SLR legend in the chat box. Mr. Speedy. Mr. Speedy has entertained the crowd in SLR in the EGL races for many a season. Whenever, specifically for me, I always remember the time I was commentating that EGL session whenever Mr. Anka was racing, and the only man who could even get a whiff of close to Mr. Anka was Speedy. So, yep, I always remember that. But Kiko is now pushing the charge on Dan the Man, deploying his battery. Oh, is he going to make it? Is he going to get past all 3 or all both of them? He makes a little bit of a lunge to get that P1. Here we go, we're getting the Ferrari and the Alpine are fighting. Please don't kill the Ferrari. We've already had Ferraris killed in Baku in Tier 3. Oh, and then Dan gets a little bit, his front end gets tapped there by the rear right of Kiko. Nothing dirty there, it's just the way things go in Baku. But you're seeing here this DRS kind of tomfoolery, Babs. It's like, you don't really want to be P1. You want to be P1 on the last lap. Or, no, actually you don't. You want to be P2 in the last lap and then get someone in the DRS.
Daddy, stay safe. Play safe. Because he's not deploying DRS.
Yellow.
Bastin DNF.
So we all got it wrong. He entered the escape road, missed his braking point, and yes, he's in the thing. Is it going to be a safety car? It should be reduced, Babs, if the host set it up correctly. The safety car should be reduced. I don't see any reason for a safety car. So hopefully... Yeah.
No safety car.
Yeah. All good? All good. We're back in action, and I'm sure the guys will be glad to see that, because I know when we were racing in Tier 3, many of us were getting fed up with VSC after VSC after safety cars. So, yeah. Anyway, Mac is extending quite a frickin' gap here on Kiko. I don't think Kiko's got the DRS. Dan the Man will have the DRS just about on Kiko, so Dan will deploy a little bit and then mostly let his battery do the rest. Yep. So he is deployed. Actually, yeah. You see that? He gave it a little bit of a touch and then let the battery do all the rest. And look at this. Squeezing up. So we're starting to see these guys really. I just got a square there. Look at that. The guys really starting to show their real pace now because we're getting near the safety car. Or not the safety car. For goodness sake. We're getting near the pit stop range, Babs. Around lap 12 to 14. And Meepo was looking very, very close there to Justin. These hards will start to come into play now. And Meeps is sitting really nicely here, Babs, because his copy gets past him. Oh, and he doesn't, sorry, he's in the pit. Meeps is sitting nicely here, Babs, because... And he's wise now. Meeps has learned quite a lot over the few seasons he's been in SLR to play the long game. He's got the hards on, he's in P6, he's got the DRS, he's got used quite a lot of battery, but he's sitting nicely. This could work out pretty good for Meeps. But there's still quite a bit of a race to go. Are you seeing anything, Babs?
I'm watching about the batteries.
Yeah.
Kiko is on 30% battery, and Makeda is at 90%. Dan is on 90%.
Yeah, you see that goes to show who has the real raw pace. I remember watching whenever Tino just joined SLR first couple of races. I was amazed at how he could extend the gap on the rest of the tier 1 guys and not use any battery. But that's the esports level, guys. But Kiko does have the DRS now, but he's got practically no battery. Look at that. He has been deploying that battery quite a lot to get that DRS, that all secret DRS in Baku. And look at this now, Dan has caught up as well. This is going to be pretty straight. Well, I was going to say a wrong thing there. I was going to say this is going to be a pretty straightforward defense for Mac because he's got a good bit of battery. But the DRS is super powerful. And we have Mr. How-To, Mr. Meeps, basically. Daddy
Meepo is trying to push, but he's not close enough to overtake.
Yep. No, Meeps will just hanging in there. Hold on. But we've got Daddy Meepo in the chat, and he thinks that Meepo will be on the podium today. And I would agree. If everything goes according to plan for Meepo, he should definitely be able to squeeze up to possibly P3. So let me see now. Meepo is still pretty close here. Still close on Justin. Justin's really sliding about. These softs, excuse me, or sorry, these mediums will start to be really squealing now. We'll see who's looking after the tires. Joel into the pits. What's he gonna do? Let me just quickly check.
The curb on the right hand exit from the castle.
Yes.
Oh! People touch the rear end of Justin.
You see, okay, so Joel gets a 5-second penalty. So Meepo is going to get Justin here. Justin's got, well, they're pretty much even battery, but he will have this DRS advantage. Don't squeeze up. Yeah, good job. Justin knows that he's going to have to let that one go. Justin, is he going to come into the pits? Yes, he is going to come into the pits. So, yeah, Justin's getting out of that one, getting on to these hards, I would imagine. Definitely not softs. So, yeah, anyway, what we're going to say was there are babs about Meepo tapping the rear end. The thing about the mediums is whenever they start getting near that...
he's changing his front wing also.
Okay. Whenever they get near the end of their life, the breaking point becomes so much more earlier, which probably caught Meeps out there. That's probably what that was. Justin probably had to brake a bit earlier than normal. Speedy pointing out that Joel is with 2 stops after 10 laps. That is the hilarious track. Maybe in real life, but I will have you know that the Ferrari team in SLR this season, across all tiers, have been quite significant. Have been quite impressive. No bias at all. I swear.
Danny's just staying behind the 2 guys. Let them kill each other, and he's buying his time. He's preserving his ERS.
Well, that's the wise thing to do. I'll tell you where the next possible battle's going to be here. If not up at the front three, it's going to be Icewind. So I'm keeping a little eye on Icewind. And if you hear me shouting, Babs, you switch to Icewind, because I think there's definitely going to be something going to happen. Excuse me, with these guys. But yeah, so Icewind will probably get Tug, Tooch, and we're going to see possibly a move, Kiko into the pits. So Kiko and Dan the Man into the pits. So they're going to go for the overcut. They're trying to get the overcut. Is that the overcut? Or the undercut? I forget.
Undercut.
That's it. There you go. Thank you very much. Yeah, they're going for the undercut. And yeah, not much more to say really. Icewind. What's he doing? Icewind. Here we go. So Icewind is going to get the DRS on Tug. Of course, battery or the tire life is quite even. This is going to be a late one. He's using all his battery. And now what you're possibly going to see, Babs, is what I was telling you. It's a bit of a tomfoolery with this DRS, because you let the guy pass and then you can pass him again on the second DRS. The funny thing is, Tug does not have much battery. But Chief Icewind doesn't have... Everyone's Chief. I call everyone Chief. Chief on the brain. But yeah, Icewind's got the pace on him. So alas, the battery doesn't work. Let's see what else is going on. We bow up to P2. Mapes will probably take those to lap 14, I think, roughly. Or he might actually pit at the same time as Mac and Desi and Tuna Man. And then it'll be all's for love and war. It'll be everyone on the same strategy to a degree, but except Meeple will be on the fresher tires. So I'm interested to see what Meeps does. Is he going to run it out to lap 14, or is he going to stick out and pit at the same time as the rest of them? Mac's staying out. So he's staying out for the moment. Mac's staying out as well. And Desi staying out. Tuna Man. Oh, okay. So here we go. This is what's happening. Mac's going to come in the next lap. Tuna Man is in now. You know rightly that they were in the VC saying, "Are you going to pit?" And Mac's probably saying, "No." However, he says no and finish. 9. That's German. What the hell? What's no and finish? Mr. Meeple, Daddy Meeple, what is no and finish? See if it's just no. Well, that would be hilarious. But anyway, are you going to pit? Mac says no. Tuna Man comes in. Mac is going to come in the next lap. So this is going to be interesting. This will be interesting to see what Meeps does, because Meeple could really do really well this race if he just keeps it out of the wall and keeps her between the hedges, is what we would say over here in Northern Ireland. Keep her between the hedges back. Dan the Man is really pushing Kiko. I tell you what, Babs, while I'm waiting here, see for this some action to happen. Icewind asked me and Chief, right, if we could do a commentating session, which I would love to do a commentating session with Chief again, but if we could do it like a real farmer accent in Ireland. The real farmer. Well, the mother says we had to go. How's she going today? By you getting her on? Oh God, would you look at this here? Matt Kenders, he's getting down the road here, and I wonder is he going to? Okay, I realise people probably didn't understand. Anyway, Mac is going down. What is Mac going to do? What is Super Mac going to do? Is he going to pit? Is he going to pit? Is he going to pit?
No,
he's not. This is interesting. So that means that Meeple will stay out. Meeps will stay out.
And this is speeding.
Yep. Sorry, that yep was me replying to Mr. Daddy Meeple, Janu. He's right. All this time that they're staying out, Dan the Man and Kiko are going to start squeezing up and up and up and up. Joel is another time penalty. Justin passing, of course, Desi, because Desi is in the pits. But is he going to get... Tuna Man's going to get him? No. He gets out before Tuna Man. So... we've got a proper, so P3 to P7, they're all in the fight together. Icewind, a bit far off. He's not going to be able to do much unless there's a late safety car, which is very possible, guys. Very, very possible.
Then he has a purple sector 1.
He's a what? A purple sector 1?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm running on board here with Dan the Man. He is really pushing. And he needs to push because he knows that this is a good opportunity for him to get this fresh tire life, to get the the raw grip over his two rivals ahead. Let's see what's going to happen. Oh, Joel crashed. Joel, no, I did say no. He doesn't. Did he retire in the pits? Oh, he retired in the pits. I think so. That's all right. So there's not going to be a safety car. So forgive me, Joel. I thought you crashed. Joel retires in the pits. I think he calls out quits. He's had enough. What does Mac do? Mac stays out. That means Meeps is going to stay out. That means Dan and Kiko are going to squeeze up. Kiko now got the DRS. Dan's giving him a bit of a wiggle there. I think he's basically saying, go. That's basically, off you go. That's basically alien talk, which I learned. You give a little bit of a wiggle, say, off you go, I'm not going to fight you. And the reason why is because they're going to, these guys, even though they're rivals, they're going to be using the DRS. They're going to just smurf the DRS off each other to pull them up onto the back of Meeps. Because the longer Meeps and Max stay out, the more Dan and Keek, the more Dan and Keek are going to catch him. So it's basically, we're all waiting now, Babs, to see what Mac and Meeps are going to do. When do they hit?
I don't know if Makeda will go for the softs.
You know, if he can get it to 16, even 15, you know what, actually he might actually, yeah, I think he might be right. I think Super Mac is going for softs.
Because staying out that long, the only strategy that I can think of is going for the softs to have a better times. Because he knows he's gonna lose when he will pit from Kiko and Danny. Yeah. He's gonna lose the place.
Yeah. And so in order to give him an advantage would be the softs. The only problem with the softs is, Babs, after about 3 laps, they're not dead, but they you know, you've got is Mac in? Yeah, Mac's in. So I'm gonna keep an eye on Mac. You get 3 really, really fast laps with the softs. Is he sticking on the? He is. Yeah. Okay. So Mac is going to be supremely fast for the first 3, maybe 4 laps, and then they'll drop off.
They didn't make the softs this year that bad like it was last year. In 2022, the softs were worthless completely. Nobody used them because of the drop-off.
So Justin comes out. Mac just comes out just in front of Justin. Justin, of course, will be considering this is a good opportunity. Oh, Justin runs really, really deep. Just keeps it out of the wall. Yeah, I don't think Justin should be focusing on Mac here. I think he knows he's got his hands full with a Desi behind him. Super Desi. But, of course, Justin will want, hopefully, well, it's a prayer, really, to hang on to the back of Mac to get that DRS. Not a chance, not a hope in hell. And Mac, you're going to hold on to Mac with his fresh softs. Justin's going to have to concede that he's going to lose this position out to the Desi on the DRS.
Well, to see how much time in each lap Makeda is going to close from Danny. It's at 8 seconds, 8.2 seconds. Makeda already increasing the gap from Justin.
Yep, look at that.
A couple of sectors, about 2 seconds.
Well, that's what I mean. Whenever these softs are super fast for the first 3 to 4 laps, and whenever they're stuck on the car driven by Super Mac, that is an absolute pace difference over everyone else. Meepo into the pits. Meeps will have to put on the softs now. He will have to. If he puts the mediums on, I don't know. He needs to put the softs on. I think he is. Yep, Meeps is putting on the softs. So this is going to be pretty good. So Meeps is going to be super fast as well. But of course he is further back. But yeah, what I was going to say was that Mac came out just in front of Justin, and before the end of the lap, he was 2 seconds adrift of Justin, showing the pace difference. Excuse me, of these softs. And also Adesi did indeed get past Justin. Justin will probably hang on to the back of a Desi here now and realise that realistically, bearing in mind if there's no incidents, that Justin's looking for a P4 here if he can hold on to a Desi. What were you going to say there, Babs?
Purple sector 1 for McKendall.
Well, that's expected with these softs. He is...
Close 1 second from Danny.
Yep. So after about 17, 18, around about lap 19, 20, you will probably see Max pace slow a little. Just a little. The softs give up really quickly, but then they kind of come back to you. And also I see that Kitsune's in chat. She says she missed a bit. Just a bit. Just like over half the race. But we'll not hold that against you. Oh, Dan squeezing up onto the back of Kiko. Dan the man's coming. Max setting the fastest lap as expected. So we're really getting into the meat now. Kiko are sliding a little bit. We've got a proper race on now, Babs. Although it's not like we're not seeing an awful lot of on-track action, but we're seeing the cogwheels of Baku starting to really ramp up to find their final positions. And Baku is starting to come alive now. We're going to have, all being well, we're going to have a proper fight here in the last couple of laps. Max squeezing up onto these guys. Dan the man trying to stay within Kiko, keep his DRS, keep his battery charged. Of course, Kiko's going to try and want to mind games here. He's going to be fighting with himself and Dan, thinking, do I really push now to try and get out of the DRS? Or do I kind of conserve my battery, accept that I'm probably going to get past, get a yellow, and it's Fleur. Fleur runs deep into the break point. No safety car needed for that. He just runs deep. All goes well for Fleur. He gets back on track. I don't think he's got any damage. Mr. Larson says, so who's going to cause a safety car now for entertainment purposes? Where is our man Dice when you need him? I absolutely love Dice. Dice is the gift that just keeps on giving. Anywho, Meepo is right on the back of Tuna Man, and he's going to get the move done before the DRS, and Meeps ran it right to the wall. Tuna Man's coming back on him though. Tuna Man's coming back, and Tuna Man is smart. I was going to say he doesn't do it because he wants to do it on the next DRS, or he's just going to sit there and charge his battery. But at the same time, he probably knows it's not worth fighting because Meepo is on fresh softs. So he's going to hold fire, use this. Oh, what happened there? Did Justin get a little bit of a twitchy section there because he was out to the left? I'm curious if Speedy's still listening. I wonder if Speedy's still there. Wait, are you still there, Speedy? Do you want to get wrecked again on GeoGuessr after this, Speedy? Just let me know, son. So Dan Man is still half a second behind Kiko. And these guys, Babs, they're all going to be... We've got a mixture here because we've got Meepo and Mac. There is no games involved here. It is just fast as you frickin' can go on these softs. That's all it is. Whereas Kiko and Dan, it's a DRS battle. It's an ERS battle. It's a mind game. Adesi is like, he's not going to catch Mac, but he's quicker than Justin. So Mac, probably Adesi has checked out. He's like, I'm going to get P4. I'm going to just sit here. That's it. Kiko does get passed by Dan the Man, as expected, but that will not stay like that. If we know racing, Babs, if we know a thing or two after all these seasons, that position is probably not going to stay down. This might switcheroo, or what's going to happen is Kiko's going to sit fire. He's going to hold fire. He's going to wait until the very last lap, and then that's when the mind games come in for Dan, because Dan might accidentally on purpose run deep into a corner and suddenly miss the corner, which means that Kiko will pass and then Dan will get the DRS, accidentally. We wouldn't encourage the DRS games. I wouldn't do that, Babs, certainly not. You'll not find any footage of me doing that. Just don't look at Baku a few seasons ago.
That's over to there in the P10.
Fleur squeezed up under the back of Tuk. He might not get moved on now. I don't think Fleur's going to be too far back, even with the DRS, so we'll go back to the front runners, Babs. The real battle, Babs, on track of any significance is Dan the Man and Kiko, and Dan the Man ran really deep there. He ran really deep and he almost clicked the wall, and you seen he gave that little alien wiggle again. You know what that means? He's saying, Kiko, off you go, son. Off you go. I'm not going to fight it. Watch, Dan's not going to deploy. Yeah, see, Dan's not deploying. Kiko's not deploying because he knows Dan's not going to fight it. Off they go. This is what I mean, Babs. This is what I'm talking about. It's a DRS game. Tuna Man has the DRS on Justin, and Tuna Man will not do it here. Yep, I knew it. He's holding over. He'll do it in the next DRS, and Justin will know it. And there's very little he can do. I'll not comment on the battery in case anyone's listening, because it gives people... Well, I will actually. They've pretty much got even battery. So, Meepo gets past the Desi. The Desi didn't fight that one at all, really, from what I've seen. And Desi knows he's not going to hold Meepo behind with those softs. So, unfortunately, to Daddy Meepo, to tell you, it doesn't look like Meepo is going to get a podium. So there you go. Your wish is our command. Ooh, what happened there? Meepo did get a little bit twitchy there. I will ask on your behalf, Daddy Meepo. Babs, Jan is asking if we could see the live lap times. Can we actually see that, actually? Or am I being silly? Can we see the lap times? Yeah, we can. Lap data. Yeah, enable lap data. You should be able to see it. Can you see the lap times? Am I being brain dead here?
The fastest lap I can see.
Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah. We can't see the lap times. I thought you could. Just lap data is all we can give you, really. Ah! The font of all racing knowledge in chat, Mr. Cody, does tell us that yes, if you have telemetry tools, it is possible. There you go. Unfortunately, we're running quite a spare equipped ship here, so we don't have tools. But Tuna Man gets past Justin, comes into the pits. He wants off those hards. He's had enough. He's checking out. He says, that's it. Oh, and the front wing change as well. Ah, okay. So, yeah. Moving into the latter stages of this race. Yes, Tino does, I mentioned, Meeps is not first yet. And it's, to be honest, not likely going to happen with Super Mac in front. And, of course, nearly 6 seconds back. It was looking like he was going to get a podium. I wonder if Meeps had come in a wee bit earlier. Would that have worked out for him? But alas, Mac is, look at this. As we predicted, Babs, the very end of this race is where we are going to see all the action. Mac has now squeezed up onto the back of the boys in P1 and P2. So this little comfy ride that Kiko and Dan were having, swapping around, doing the old switcheroo with the DRS, that's going to have to get cut out because Mac is here and he is here to win. And I am not biased being a commentator. I don't have any preference.
But the thing is that everybody, even Kiko, even McKinder, is pushing the DRS, but Mac does not.
Yes, well, what I was going to say, my Babs, was I am not biased because I can't be being a commentator, but, I would like to see Ferrari win. But, yes, I'm not biased, but come on, Ferrari. The only problem is Mac will have used up quite a lot of that tire life catching his field. So Mac will probably want to sit behind these guys and charge that battery. This is what I told you, Babs. It all comes down to the final lap. No one wants to be first on the final lap in Baku, especially
Pico has 35%, ERS, Danny 60, and Mackinder 48.
Yeah, Danaman's sitting here nicely with a good bit of battery. People can see them in the distance, but yeah, I think we should really turn our focus, Babs, to this front fight. This is where all the real big points go, big prizes. And 3 mega drivers. Mac, look at this. Mac does have a lot of raw pace over down here, down on these really quite old media or hards. They're reaching near the end of their life. So Mac could definitely do this. Our podium is set. It's these 3 guys, but we just don't know what order. What's might happen here is you might see Mac he is pushing. Yep, Mac is pushing, so he's gonna try and get a move on Dan. It's gonna be hard because Dan has a good bit of battery and he's got the DRS. I've seen Dan and yeah, they're closing their DRS. Yeah. It's unfortunately we can't, can't get really excited for commentating because there's not a lot happening because it's all going to run to the final lap. But Mac is having a little sniff here, forcing Dan. He's forcing Dan to do something. He's saying, "Make a move, do something," which is pushing, forcing Dan, Mac, or flip's sake, I can't speak. It's forcing Dan to defend or possibly make a move on Kiko to relieve the pressure of Mac away from him. There we go. It's all going to come to the final lap, Babs. I keep saying it. I'm like a broken record. It's the final lap where this will be won or lost.
I want to know the situation of the Mackinder's tires.
Well, what I could tell you, if this is any benchmark, and I'm usually quite gentle on my tires because I'm slow. After 3 laps, for me, my rears were 10%. So 6 laps, 20%. So he would have passed the off the cliff drop. There would have been 20. Yeah, he's probably mid to high 20%. Hitting 30%, I would say, probably in the 30s now on those softs. Yeah, unfortunately, John Meeps does not have enough time to catch these guys. He is going to finish P4, all being well. Still a great drive from Meeps. The only change we're going to see, of course, if as long as nobody crashes, the only change we may see is this front 3. This is the only place we're going to see a battle or a proper switcheroo going. The rest of the guys, the gaps, yeah, looking down them, all the gaps, yeah. No one's close to anyone, yeah. This is the battle. Of course, there has been a Ferrari on the podium in every tier, I believe, every race. I know there wasn't a Ferrari necessarily on the podium in tier 3, but I believe there will be penalties applied, and a Ferrari will get on the podium as Mac is having a little touch the rear end. Oh no! He touches the rear right of Dan, almost spinning Dan. Maple gets into P3. Just as I said, he probably will not get the P3. He is in P3, but problem, there's another lap to go. There's another lap to go. Mac doesn't have any damage, and he will have the DRS on Meepo. So that's my position might still go. That also just gifts a lovely gap between Kiko and Dan. So I think that one little patch of a little bit of contact in the run into the castle section has decided the race winner. because Dan is now not got enough battery or tire life to have any advantage on Kiko. Kiko has pretty much the same, but he does have the same battery. That's it. All Kiko has to do is just get it round this corner of this track. He wins. Dan is going to finish P2. It's all about P3. What is going to happen to P3?
I think McKinnon made a bit risk attacking at that corner.
Well, I mean, it is doable. We've got a yellow. It's an Aston Martin. Who is that? We're going past it now. Just quickly check. It's Fox. It's Fox. Fox struggling on those fresh softs in the braking zone. But alas, that is still Fox. So let's stick with this battle, Babs with Mac and Meeps. This is so.
Is he gonna do this again?
No, he's not. No. This is gonna be so cruel for Maple because he's like done a fantastic wee race. Not really. He hasn't been really fighting anyone. He's just been smart about managing his pace, keeping him out of the walls. He has been gifted P3 here, but I don't think if Mac has got enough battery. In fact, Mac has quite a significant battery advantage. This is going to be cruel. I think he's going to lose out P3. Unless there's some kind of friendship orders here. I don't think so. But I'm just going to check up ahead. We normally run across the line with the race winner, but we already know Kiko is on the final straight. He's going to win the race. Dan the man's going to finish P2. Stick with Mac. Babs, stick with Mac. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Meepo has no battery left. He's got no battery. Mac is deploying. He's got the DRS, and he's going to pip him to P3. Oh, that's so cruel. But Mac does indeed get that podium of P3, maintaining the Ferrari dominance across the tiers. Every single race, every single tier, there's been at least one Ferrari on the podium. Mac maintains that whatever. Meepo finishes P4. Unfortunately, doesn't get that P3. Adesi comes in on P5. Tunaman brings the Ferrari. Good points for Ferrari still in P6. Justin, not the race he was hoping for in P7, but still gets points. Nice win crossing in P8. Tug, I think he had a little bit of a damage or issue at the start of the race, getting P9, and Cops after that, I think he had a spin, didn't he? Or a spin or a bit of an issue. Crosses and takes the final point here in Baku, with Fleur not following too far behind. And so that was quite cruel for Meepo. He was, for a mere moment, it was looking like he was going to get P3, but alas, as soon as you seen there was one lap to go, just made that extra difficult for him. But as wee Kitty does say, well done all. I would support that statement, or I would echo, that's what I'm looking for. I would echo that statement. Well done to everyone. No real major issues. Only contact was that issue really between Mac and Dan. Don't know what's going to happen. Dan might not report it because he still finished P2. So that might not go reported. It might just be, well, anyway, we'll leave that up to them. Our grid is as follows: Kiko P1, Dan P2, Mac P3, Meepo P4, Desi 5, Tuna 6, Justin P7, Icewind P8, Tug 9, and P10 is Copy. That is the major points finishes, just in case we don't get the final standings for the guys doing the results. And c'est la vie. No, c'est la vie is the wrong word. What is that? I wonder what's that? Kitty, what's that? That is that in French. C'est ça? C'est ça. There you go. So, Babs, what do you think, man? What's your thoughts? Give me an in-depth, detailed running commentary of how you felt that race went.
It was a very exciting race, you know. And I thought McKinnon made a terrible mistake going for the overtake over there in that sector, that corner, because it's very narrow. You can't have both cars going side by side at that turn. So it was a matter of who's gonna hit whom? That sector. I don't know if anybody else have managed to make an overtake there, but as long as I'm racing Baku, nobody did. Somebody got hurt.
All right, let me just check the Discord of SLR. Anyone that isn't here, please, you're very welcome to join and sign up for the races. You're all everyone is welcome. We allow all walks of life, and we allow full assists and no assists. We have a company for all. But let me just check instant reports.
Maybe the tier 1 drivers are shy. Speaking in the microphone.
It said that your reserve for tonight was Eagle Ghost, but I didn't see Eagle Ghost on track. So that's an interesting one. The thing about this is probably going to be quite short, Babs, because the thing about the tier 1 folk, right? The tier 1 folk are very fast, great drivers, very knowledgeable, very fair, but they're a bit shy.
Yeah,
you don't really get many.
I'm betting they don't want to share their secrets.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Dan. They hold their cards very close to their chest and they will not reveal them. But yeah, they're very shy and they don't want to give an interview. Which here, that's fine by me because I am out of my head with hunger. I haven't had any dinner at all, so I'm quite happy to go now. If Kitty's listening, I could really do with some food. But yeah, I don't think we're going to get an interview today, Dan. I see Dan's typing. Babs. But before we go, Babs, I think, because you know what's going to happen, Babs. We're going to get tagged in the commentator chat. It's going to be Icewind asking, could we give a quick thought of who do we think the driver of the day was? Who did you think was the driver of the day?
Now, it's a very hard thing to decide, mate, because Kiko made a solid race. He wasn't the best, or he didn't gain the most places, but he managed to stay in front. The game gave us Copy as driver of the day. Now, you go for the overtakes or you go for the race as a race?
Well, I'll be honest, right? It's normally quite easy to pick a driver off the day, but today was quite tricky because there wasn't really a lot. Oh, look at this! 2 guys in the interview room to stop me from eating any food. Look at this. Oh, well. I suppose we better talk to them, Babs.
Okay, let's bring Danny in.
Hello.
Hello.
What the hell was that?
They're searching for us. Danny, what happened?
In terms of what?
I thought we were gonna wait until the last sector to overtake, to take the first place, but you ran out of battery. Your tires dropped. What happened?
Did you not see me get wing damage?
No.
Nope.
I got wing damage in, I think it's either turn 13 or 14.
Ah.
Joe, the left-hander, then you drop down the hill.
Yes.
Yeah, for some reason my rears locked the tiniest bits and I was drifting and then bonk. I like orange front wing damage on the right.
Did you see that banging and open up we heard there, Dan, just when you joined? Is that McKender?
No.
Open up! Yeah!
No, I'm to be honest, I'm not that annoyed with that because I feel it was a bit of a racing incident.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did say that just at the end of the race there, Dan, between that incident between you two, it is probably just going to be left just as that because, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't really have any questions to ask.
Did you think? Did you have in mind that McKinnon was gonna attack at that specific corner?
No, to be honest, I expected him into like turn 3 or something, but he didn't do it, which was a bit weird. Because if he wanted to, he could have really got me into turn 3. I was braking early because of the wing, and well, it's just a hard corner to brake for. If you don't know where to brake.
Yeah, but I think it's also worth pointing out though that Mac's softs were like freaking cooked. Like he was pushing, so he was probably sliding down the way down in Baku for some reason. When your tires start getting really old, like your brake zones, for me anyway, they seem to get really long, and so that's possibly what happened.
Well, truthfully, I was going to try doing the medium soft as well, but the rear deck for me on the mediums at the start was just too much, so I had to switch.
Yeah, tricky. It's tricky. It is tricky. Baku, Dan, isn't it? This season in this game, the break points are just all over the place. I found.
Yes, but I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. I mean, you see me, I raced tier 3 and tier 2. I love the challenge. But yeah, man. Oh, the thing I did want to mention was the first major big long stint of the race. You were obviously first in pole. Congrats, by the way. I missed pretty much all quali for you.
You're glad you didn't want to see my end of quali.
Okay. Well, I joined literally as it was over. But I was saying to Babs and people watching that generally it's kind of like you don't really want to be first in Baku because you're just going to get either people are just going to just zoom past you with the DRS, or they're just going to use you like a used tissue and just use their DRS and keep their battery charged. Yes. And so what I was watching very carefully was, understandably so, that Mac was just using his DRS. He wasn't using his battery. And I'm wondering, was he expecting you to deploy and use your battery? But I noticed that you must have been wise to that. So you weren't deploying your battery in anticipation for this attack coming, so that whenever it does come, you'll be able to defend or get it back. Am I kind of right?
You are bang on.
There we go.
You are wise, Tipsy Bob.
I have the wisdom, I don't have the pace.
If I was racing the 1/10 that Dan is racing, I would champion in Tier 3.
Yeah.
So I missed that. Sorry, what?
But I can't beat the dead elephant, so...
What?
It was a tricky race.
Yeah, I mean...
Tricky race.
It is tricky. I found the Tier 3 race was good crack, but the Tier 2 for me, and I know it's not about me, it's about you guys, but I know just personally speaking, Tier 2 was intense because we were so close to each other for so long. And it was like the focus you needed to have was like razor sharp, but it was so freaking good, man. I loved it. And so I was watching that race and I was obviously, commentating it. And I kind of was thinking that you were probably experiencing something similar because you had Kiko so close. You were kind of jumping each other. And then you had Mac in the game as well. And it's like, you can't make a mistake because you could easily run into the guy in front. But at the same time, if you one mistake, you're going to lose that DRS. So is that what you were experiencing, Dan?
Yeah, I was trying to manage the braking in front so I didn't hit Kiko, and then but also trying to defend so McKenna didn't just have an easy pass.
Yeah, make it easy for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have Icewind and Meeps waiting too, Dan. So I'll get them boys in and then let everyone get on with their day.
Yes, right.
But great job, Dan, on the poll, and P2 is still a great result, dude.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for commenting as always.
No worries, dude. Good luck. By the way, that's a really Irish thing I just done there. Whenever we go bye. Okay. Will we bring Icewind and Meepo in?
We go with Meepo. Okay.
Meepo.
Bob.
Mapes, I have to say that was really cruel at the very end. You were basically gifted a lovely gift-wrapped P3, but it was just one lap too early, unfortunately. How did you go? How tell us about your race overall, Mapes?
Well,
I went with the hards, thinking hard, soft, or hard medium would be the faster, strategy. I didn't have any idea what the top 5 was. I was like, then I learned they were on mediums. I was like, this is not gonna be fun race. So I really struggled to like keep up with him. But when their tires decided to die at the end, I managed to be faster than. Of course, that's how tires work in this game. But then I was really struggling at the end of the stint too. Trying to like not hit the wall and trying to keep up with making Mackender's pace, but that didn't work. Then I did lap 16, went on the softs, thinking, oh god, I'm like a bit behind like the leaders. Was it 16 seconds or 18 or something like that? I was like, I'm just gonna get every position I can here. Then I overtook Tunari and slowly Justin and slowly Adetsi, and at the end overtook Magender. He overtook me back. Unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, your race is kind of indicative of some of the races that I've seen in the lower tiers, in the sense of the guys that just, you weren't really trying to fight anyone, really. You were just doing your thing. You were just racing your race. And as you caught up to people, you passed them, and that was it. Simple as that. And were you always going to go Meeps a hard soft, or did you change that strategy later on into the race?
I was thinking hard medium at first. I was like, maybe this could work. But then I thought I want to go on the end on the soft so I can possibly overcut the guys and maybe fight for the lead. That of course didn't happen because I got wing damage like lap 20. So I had to like try to catch up there with them and try not to keep my car away from the walls. So like that was something.
Yeah, so I think that with that, knowing that, Meeps, considering that you had that wing damage, you wrapped 20 or 22, P4 is still a fantastic result for you, man, in Baku.
I mean, okay, yeah, sure, okay. After my awful quali, yeah. But like, I'm more sad about that I didn't get a proper lap time in quali. I managed to do like 40.5 in this quali session. But like in the practice and 2 weeks before I did at like 39.3, 39.4, like those times. But I just can't convert it into the real session somehow. That's the main thing I'm lacking in this game.
Yeah, just the one lap quali pace.
Yeah. Basically second of BB.
Yeah, that is the thing. You see, I think in the lower tiers, Meeps, that you can afford to maybe not set quite a good lap time. If your racecraft is quite good, then you can then still capitalize on the lower tiers. But I think as you move up, especially to the tier 1, you know, as you already know, your quality then does become significantly more important. But look, I still think you should be quite proud of what you've done. You've done a great race, man. Almost P3, even with your compromised quality. So it's a great job, man. And it's good points for yourself and for your team.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for that nice compliment.
Always, babes. I always compliment. I just give abuse in chat, but I don't mean it.
Yeah, I know.
So, all right, we'll get the Icewind in. I'll give him plenty of abuse because he's an old man. He can take it.
Oh, God.
All right. So, thanks, Meeps.
You're welcome.
Good luck, my man.
Well, see you.
Okay.
Bye.
Hello, Icewind.
Hello.
How are you?
Sort of surprisingly not very exhausted even after that race.
You had quite a quiet race, Icewind, I have to say.
Yeah, I like the first 2 laps. I saw some action, got past the people that I guess were behind me in pace. But yeah, after that it was just lonely. They really made a mistake at the start, starting on the hards because they were just too slow. But to be honest, I don't know if it really mattered. I don't think I had pace to be any higher than where I was today. So, it's just one of those tracks where I've never really felt comfortable outside of F1 2020, where we found a bit of a strange setup meta for that track, and it made it much better in that game for me. But like before that and after that, I've never really enjoyed myself around here. But yeah, P8. I got home just at the end of qualifying once again, so it's a bit rough. But yeah, so I'm happy to finish and get a couple of points for my effort. So yeah, I'm on.
Yeah, man. You joined quali late. I didn't see your quali session. I joined comms right at the very end. But as you say, you joined comms late. You jumped into Baku. Baku, it's not particularly an easy track, especially the breaking points in this year's game. And you walk away with P8. So, I think overall that's a good result for yourself.
Yeah, true. But yeah, it's, as you say, like the braking is really difficult once the tires get a bit worn on this track, and like the delta between a fresh tire and a worn tire is just insane on this track, because I pitted at the end just for lulz for softs. I think for the last 5 or 6 laps or whatever it was. My gap to Tonari was, I think, 14 seconds. And at the end of the race, it was again like 14 or 15 seconds. So I caught him like 15 or 16 seconds in 5 or 6 laps. So like the the fresh tires are just insanely much faster here. And yeah it's just weird.
Yeah, we've seen it with Mac, although granted it's Mac with softs on. So, but yeah. Mac came out literally just in front of Justin. Granted, Justin had old hards on or mediums. I don't know what he had on, but he still had old tires on. And before the end of that lap, Mac had got over 2 seconds on him.
Yeah. So. It is. Yeah, the difference is just crazy. I think it's like 2.5 seconds there, or almost up to 3 seconds, like the delta between those fresh and worn tires. But yeah, it's P8 at least done with Baku. It's not gonna be much better in the coming weeks, but with Qatar and Miami. But
tell me about it, man.
It is what it is.
You like Miami because you're gonna go to the beach, mate. Come on.
I mean, maybe for that, but like for racing, I am just absolutely dreadful there. So yeah.
All right, well, good job, Mike. And anyway, we'll try and get the next 2 races over and done with. So, because I'm not really that excited about them either. I don't even know them. I've never been on them before, but alas, we'll see what comes.
Yeah, they're 2 very different tracks. Like Qatar is just flat out fast corners, and then Miami is like a bunch of really annoying and awkward corners to me. Some people like Kender like it, but they're like I find them to be a bit, I don't know. How do you say, masochistic about that if you actually like that track, but that's just my opinion.
All right, well, one person on that note, Ice, will switch over to Kiko, because I believe he does like these tracks. So let's see what a masochist sounds like.
Yep. Anyway, thanks guys for the comms, and I'll see you.
No worries, dude. Bye. Hey, and last but not least, c'est le gagné. It's Kiko. Congrats, Kiko. What a fantastic race, my man. Didn't get the pole, but you managed your pace very well. You were working with Dan, I think, with the DRS. And we were sitting here, Kiko, waiting for this final 2 or 3 lap battle between you, Danny, and Mac. But unfortunately, fortunately for you, Dan and Mac had a little bit of a collision, and it just made your life so much easier. But tell us from your point of view, Kiko, how you found that race.
That was at least not. That was really unexpected to win this race, because after the quali, I threw the pole up. I was like 7 tenths up at some point, and like in the turn 15, I just like blew it in the wall, lost like 3 tenths, and had wing damage for the last corner. So that was like really bad. And then on the mediums, I was just sliding everywhere for some reason. And on this game, you just slide on 2 laps in a row, you're losing all grip and you cannot come back with the temp. So that was really hard to stay with Mac and Dan. Then I tried to undercut because it was like really struggling at the end. And I knew I was gaining a lot. It's a long track, so you can gain a lot of time, especially on this game when the drop off is really, really impactful. So I tried to undercut. Danny followed me, so I was like, okay, we can work together with the DRS, because I knew that Mackinder was gonna extend to go to the soft, or to have like fresh hard at the end. So I tried to not be aggressive with Dan and just like push together to try to gain some time, and at the end defend on Mackinder. And it pretty worked, because Dan understand at the same time that we're gonna work together, so we don't need to battle to defend to lose time. So it was really good. And at the end, I was really struggling on the tires. So like the last 3 laps were like really horrible. You had no confidence on the brake whatsoever. I was like so scared to hit the wall, and Mackinder was like pressurizing Danny. So I was trying to still save ERS, but try to push, but I was really not confident. It's one of my most hard track to drive, especially on pad. So yeah, but at the end, I don't know what happened between Mac and Danny. I just like look at the gap at the end of sector 2, and I was like 1.4 up. So yeah, try to be cautious at the end.
I can tell you, Kiko, what happened. So it was the rundown as you're approaching the castle section. You know the heavy brake zone?
Yeah.
And then you turn left, or sorry, you turn right, and then you go into the castle section. I forget what corner that is. You kind of cut the curb a little bit.
Yeah.
Mac had a good run on Dan, and he was giving it a go, and he tried to pass him there, but it's really difficult to put side by side there. And Mac's front left just touched slightly Danny's rear right, and they both spun kind of half sideways. No damage was done, but what I think happened there really, I haven't checked yet, but I think what happened was because Mac's tires were so old, or so pretty much they were dead, that his braking zone then became really long, and I think that he basically kind of just slid almost under no grip into Dan. It wasn't a very big hit; it was just enough to unsettle both cars, and that's what happened, Kiko. And that just, as soon as that happened, the moment that happened, that's basically when you won that race, because they were never going to catch you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I was like hearing some like contacts, but I was like still focusing because it's Baku. So anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's really the point of the game right now. You need to be confident. I think like confidence is the best word to describe the game actually right now.
Yeah.
Especially on the big braking zone circuits like Baku, Bahrain, you have this type of track. You're just losing grip, and you need to keep confidence, because when the tires just drop off, you're losing so much grip, and it's a different race at this point. But it's really interesting though. So yeah.
Well, congratulations, Kiko, anyway, again, on the race win.
Okay.
And also, especially on a control pad. I call them control pads because I'm old, but on a control pad, you done it in Baku with that pace. That's just amazing to me, because I just cannot imagine. Even I've actually raced before Tier 1 no assists with a control pad, and I'm all right, but I find it so difficult that whenever I've got a wheel, it just made it so much easier. So to see what you did today in Baku with that pace and still win, that's just phenomenal. That's just an amazing result, Kiko. So really, really great job. Babs, do you have any questions for Kiko?
No, I just want to congratulate him for his win, and I hope to see more of that in the future. What do you think about Qatar?
I'm confident because I drive this track on WOR Tier 3, and I know the strat, the tire wear, the drop off. So it's for me better than this weekend when I was like a bit going on the unknown. So I'm confident I will try to do the same. But with these guys, it's gonna be really hard, especially Mackinder, who's really a beast right now. So
yeah,
we'll see. But yeah.
Well, we will be looking forward to that, Kiko, next week to see how you do in Qatar against these aliens. But yeah, man, we will say thank you very much for your time.
too.
Congratulations again, and we will cut the interview there. Basically, Keiko.
Take care and take care. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay. Bye bye,
Bye-bye.
Keiko. Merci. So there it is, Babs. We have come to the end of Baku, the race, the quali, and the interviews.
Exciting race. You expected that at least.
What? Sorry.
You expected an exciting race, and they delivered once again.
Yep. It was a slow burner at the start, I think, because everyone was playing that DRS game. But yeah, it really ramped up near the end, which is to be expected in Baku. And of course, we had that big moment between Dan and Mac, which kind of really did decide the winner. But yeah, that's how high the stakes are in Tier 1. One little mistake, and you can go from potentially winning the race to like maybe, well, not. What a great comment that was, yeah. But anyway, that's us, Mac, or Mac, Jesus, that's us, Babs. We move on now.
We have to let our viewers on Twitch know that we are going to rate another league. We're going to watch another league, Twitch. It's called the Racing League. So they are now in the third qualifying round. So if you want to help out in the Twitch channel and see what's gonna see in the Silverstone, the Racing Silverstone, the Division 3. They have 10 minutes to go, so we will see how it goes, and we'll see you next week in Qatar. I hopefully won't racing.
Yeah, okay, Babs.
Good night from me and my fellow commentator, Tipsy Bob.